Surprisingly, more health problems are related to eating too little fat and cholesterol rather than too much. In fact, conclusive studies have shown in the past 10 years that the amount of cholesterol that we eat is not related to the amount of cholesterol in our blood, and the amount of saturated fat that we eat does not increase our cholesterol in the long term, although it may do it in the short term. Hi, I'm Dr. Cynthia Clark, and I know this is new information for most of us, so I want to share a little story with you about President Dwight D. Eisenhower. On a fall day in 1955, President Eisenhower ate a hamburger, he played a round of golf, and he had a heart attack. Dr. Paul Dudley White then took the world stage as the leading Harvard cardiologist, and he educated the American public about his personal theory of the dangers of saturated fat and heart disease. These were only his personal theories at the time. America got the message though, and for the next 50 years, we took fat out of our diets and we replaced it mostly with carbohydrates. When we did that, we introduced a tremendous amount of carbohydrates to our diets over time. Now let's go back to President Eisenhower. Most people then ask, well, what kind of a heart attack risk was he? And the fact of the matter is that he wasn't a heart attack risk at all. In fact, he had no heart disease in his family. He ate a very clean diet. He was the optimal weight for his height. He had stopped smoking 6 years before. He exercised every single day, and his blood pressure was monitored regularly, as you might expect from the office of the president, and it was rarely elevated. From 1955 to 1961, he took the fat completely out of his diet. He ate 1 egg a month. He ate hardly any cold cuts. I mean, he really took out any fat. He ate no butter. He ate only corn oil. And by the time that he passed away, 8 years after he left office, he suffered another 6 heart attacks. America, we took the fat out. We introduced carbohydrates. What we can tell from President Eisenhower's story is that it was not a low-fat diet that contributed to his heart disease. He wasn't eating any fat at all. The studies that we now find that conclusively show that it isn't fat that causes heart problems. It's carbohydrates that specifically contribute to the LDL particles in our bloodstream. America dedicated itself to understanding the multi-generational relationship between dietary fat and heart health. And in fact, in the 1950s, the Framingham study was born. Now this takes place in Framingham, Massachusetts, and it's fascinating. The entire town of Framingham, Massachusetts, for 3 generations has been charting all of their food intake, and that's been compared to their longevity, their heart health, their quality of life, and to their weight over 3 generations. 30 years after this study started, William Castelli, the director at the time, William Castelli said, the more saturated fat a person eats and the more cholesterol a person eats, the longer the lifespan they have and the higher the quality of life and the fewer heart problems that they have. So, I submit to you that the great news is fat is really good for you. Now, when I say this, I don't mean pizza and french fries, because a lot of people get really excited about that. What I do mean is healthy fats. Now, there are 3 fats that you want to avoid, and they are hydrogenated fat or trans fats. They are fats that are high in omega-6s or rancid oils. Now, to cut to the chase of this, let me tell you about 2 oils that are really good for you and really safe for you, and they are olive oil, when you use it at low temperatures, because it goes rancid very quickly. So olive oil is great on your salads, and coconut oil. Coconut oil is a fantastic oil, and here's why. It boosts your metabolism, so it will actually help you lose weight. It also works as a mild detoxifier. It is an Alzheimer's preventative, and it's a medium chain fatty acid, which means that your body recognizes it and it helps your body to regulate its blood sugar. So remember, 2 oils that are really good for you, coconut oil and olive oil. Build them into your diet, work them in. They're phenomenal for you, and your heart and your quality of life will thank you for it.